Miriam, I want you to close your eyes.
While I'm reading?
Yeah, close your eyes. Go on.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
All right.
Surprise.
Close now.
Okay, they're closed. They're
All right,
closed.
now hold out your hands.
Will it bite?
No.
Okay.
Here, that's for you, and I hope you like it.
Oh, Daddy, you know I love presents. Goodness, you wrap things so well.
Of course I
I'm
did.
sure you did this yourself, didn't you, right?
You know, you're doing that just the way you did when you were a little girl.
I'll show you the way I did it. Oh, Daddy, where does it go? Oh, Daddy.
Isn't that pretty?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, well, put it on, put it on.
I can't.
You don't like it?
Oh, no, I like it. I love it. I love it. It's... Why is this, though?
Mim, you've been deprived of some of the niceties of your upbringing for quite a while, and I'm just making up for lost time.
Well, let's see. Oh, Daddy, I can't.
Why not?
It's just so extravagant, and this money could really do a lot of good other places.
Mim, now, I'm not too well versed in your newfound faith, but as I recall, it is better to give than to receive.
Exactly.
Exactly. And, are you going to deprive me of my opportunity to give to you?
I love you.
Yeah, could you please ring Miriam Mason's room, please? Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Hello?
Yeah. Is this Miriam?
Yes, it is. Who's calling, please?
This is Russ Weaver. Please, don't hang up. I need your help.
How did you find me?
That doesn't matter.
Miriam, who is that?
It's no one, Daddy. No one.
Well, why are you so upset?
Who's that with you? Is that your father?
Yes, it is. What do you want from me?
I need money. I've got to get out of town.
I can't do that.
I saved your life.
I know, but you're asking too much.
Miriam, what is going on
Oh,
here?
Daddy, please.
Hey, I need $2,000 or $3,000. That's all. I mean, your father was ready to put up a lot more than that.
All right. Okay, listen.
Now,
Maybe we can do... Wait, Daddy!
No. Who is this? Answer me. He hung up. Do you know who that person was?
No,
It wasn't the same degenerate who tormented you and tried to blackmail me?
No, it wasn't Lance. It wasn't Lance. I would have hung up immediately.
Well, it couldn't have been a friend because you're too upset.
I'm not upset. Well, you're just making me upset.
That call didn't come from downstairs, did it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know.
Who is it?
It's me, Babs. How you doing, Chuck?
Oh, Babs, boy, am I glad to see you.
What's the big relief? I told you I was coming over.
Yes, Miriam, why are you so relieved?
I just didn't want to answer any more questions, that's all.
Well, I want you to know that I'm not going to let that subject rest here.
Subject? What subject? Look, did I come at a bad time?
I would be hard-pressed to name a good time for you to show up.
All right. Look, everybody, it was an obscene phone call. That's all, nothing more.
Come back here, you little precious. I kept it out of his sight as long as I could.
Do you want me to take care of that?
I can handle it. Look, this is going to take your fever away so you'll feel better. Okay. You take the shot, I'll give you a lollipop. If you don't, I'll give you...
Maybe Ryan's mother will go into the room with him.
I don't know. I just never could be so businesslike about giving someone a needle.
Sometimes I wish I could be more businesslike about this clinic.
Trouble?
Well, to paraphrase an old saying, there's no such thing as a free clinic. I mean, somebody has to pay for Ryan's shots.
Look like Ryan's already has.
The bills, the rent, not to mention the supplies. They just added up a lot faster than we thought.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Well, I talked to Ben right before he left, and we've agreed on a grand opening. Invite some of Kingsley's prominent citizens. Now, we'll set a date soon.
That sounds like a great idea. I'd be pleased to help.
Well, thanks, Ione. I talked to Terry, and she's going to lend a hand, too.
Well, I'm sure she'll be overwhelmed to hear how pleased you are about her helping.
Oh, that's not what I mean. It's just that, well, when the idea first came to me, I thought maybe Kate would help me with it. She's a great fundraiser, Ione.
I see. Until you saw her with Lee Carruthers, huh?
Yeah, that kind of shot it down. Maybe it's for the best. Keep my mind on the business at hand.
Yes, you're right.
Dave, what a surprise.
Oh, Nancy, do you have an appointment?
Well, actually, I thought I had a standing invitation. Poor kid. Bet you enjoyed that.
Don't tell me you need one of these.
No, actually, I'm just here for my blood pressure check.
Is that all? Well, come on with me. I'll get you out here in 3
well,
minutes
actually,
flat.
I can wait for Dave.
No, now, come on, be a good girl.
Get your hand
If you're a good girl, I'll give you a lollipop. Bet you like sour apple.
An obscene phone call?
Right, yes.
But I heard you identify yourself.
Well, yes, they asked if it was me, but don't get all upset or anything.
Miriam, you should have hung up immediately.
Well, it was not like it was heavy breathing or anything. I just thought it was another newspaper
All
reporter.
right, that does it for me.
Wait a minute. Daddy, where are you going?
You are going to check out of here.
I am not.
Miriam, Lance may have told somebody to call you. He might even know where you are.
I know that wasn't it, Daddy. And besides, I can't be on the run every time I'm threatened. A lot of people read about my kidnapping, and they're bound to be some crazies running around who want to bother me.
Well, I see no harm at all in changing
No,
roles.
Daddy, please.
Mim, I am not going to make the same mistake twice about not protecting you and letting you pal around with... I'm going to talk to the manager. At least he'll listen to me.
All right, who was it?
You heard what I told Daddy.
Yeah, I did. And it sounded like a big secret.
It was Russ Weaver.
You're kidding. Well, what did he want?
He wanted money to get out of Kingsley.
What a lot of nerve. What'd you tell him?
I didn't even have a chance to answer him. Daddy took the phone away and Russ hung up.
Oh, what are you going to do now?
I don't know. What can I do? I don't even know where he is.
Well, look, this guy's on the run from the law. I mean, if you see him, you should tell the cops and turn him in.
Oh, is that what you were wanting me to do with you?
Hey, that's different. I was running from Ronnie and Lance, not the law.
Babs, you were running from everyone, just like Russ is.
How quickly we forget, right?
I know I would have died in that blockhouse if it hadn't been for Russ. And Jean, too. Russ saved me from Lance, and now I have a chance to directly repay him for that.
Well, look, the only way you can keep Lance from Russ is to give him a new identity. I mean, you can't bankroll him with a trip across country. I mean, that'll keep Lance away from him, but not forever.
But do you think maybe the police would help Russ?
I don't know. You know, you might call that Brubaker guy. That's what I'd do. He's been pretty square with me.
No, I can't. Maybe tomorrow.
What are you going to do if he calls back tonight?
Well, then I guess I'll just have to help him.
Kid broke every one of them. Good, now we have twice as many.
Well, I don't think much of your nurse, but at least she let me see you.
I'm afraid it was your high blood pressure that did that for you.
What do you mean?
Well, when Lucy saw your numbers, she thought it best that I talk to you.
Well, hooray, high blood pressure.
Well, I'm afraid not. It's elevated. Now, that hasn't changed a bit since you were here the last time.
Well, no news is good news.
It's obvious that you haven't been taking your medication.
Well, that's not true. I was.
For how long?
Well, for a couple of days, and then I started to feel better, so...
The directions were to continue the medication until the last pill was gone.
Well, they are gone. I lost them.
Yes, I'm sure you did.
No, really, I moved to 4351 Montclair Apartments. And in the rush, I guess I just misplaced them somewhere.
Yes, I'm sure the anxiety of the moving didn't help either.
Yeah, that's right. I bet you believe in holistic medicine.
Well, I don't think the body, mind, and spirit can be separated as neatly as most physicians think.
Well, then we shouldn't be treating these symptoms without the cause, should we? I'll tell you what, why don't we go out to dinner and then maybe we can root out this nasty old blood pressure?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, come on. Where's your bedside manner?
Right here in the clinic, where it belongs. The answer is no. Well, here's the new prescription. Follow the diet guideline I gave you the last time you were here, and take your pills.
Oh, speaking of diet, I just cooked your favorite dish.
Beef bourguignon?
And homemade spoon bread. How does 6 sound to you?
Oh, that's great. Oh, just like we planned this morning.
Just like we planned this morning.
Don't play games with me. I know what I'm getting dumped on.
My, and intelligent too. Isn't it just a lovely afternoon for a walk?
Isn't there something in the Hippocratic Oath about fraternizing with the help?
No, but there is a mention about not taking advantage of a willing female patient. Good night.
I wonder what Fred's up to tonight.
You never want to talk about anything but business, sugar. Don't you think other things are more important?
Well, of course I do. But, you know, a girl like me is all alone in this world. I mean, I gotta look after myself, right?
Well, I guess I should be thankful. You made my evening when you called. I hope nothing's wrong.
Oh, no, it's just a medical thing. But, you know, this investment I wanted to talk with you
You're
about
not
is...
sick or anything, are you?
No, my doctor just told me to rest. But...
And what are we doing here?
Fred, could you derail your one-track mind long enough for me to talk about these investments? Now, what about this financial genius friend of yours?
Oh, I saw Dan today.
So what does he say? Has he got some hot prospects for me?
Nancy, let's take a look at some facts. A, you're a very attractive young lady. B, I'm a debonair, mature gentleman whose many gifts have obviously attracted your naive attention. And C, there's animal magnetism here. Are you with me so far?
You lost me after A. What's the point?
Well, the point is, I could give you a great line about a secret, surefire investment, and you'd eat it up, but I'm not that kind of man.
I don't like the way this is beginning to sound.
I'm just trying to level with you. Many a man has been hung on the ticker tape. Now, you could lose your entire capital faster than you could say commodity options.
Well, are you backing out on me?
Easy. Easy. Now, Dan said that your best investment is real estate.
But what about these papaya gold mines?
Commodities, options. I hit it big, but I could have lost my shirt. Do you want that kind of risk?
Yeah, but you said that Dan was infallible, right?
Don't get me wrong. He's got the Midas touch. But he's suggesting some real estate deals right now. Not quite as risky, so he says.
Well, I guess that sounds sensible. You know, I wanted to ask you about real estate anyway. I wanted to ask you a favor.
You want to go house hunting?
No, I want to go house selling.
Well, I thought your house was already scheduled to go on the block.
It is. I want you to bid for me.
I don't need a house.
Fred, that's not what I mean. What I mean, actually, is what I want you to do is go on
I'm
into
fully
the price.
aware of what you want, Nancy. I go to the auction and bid to raise the price of the house.
Yeah, well,
Well, let's look at the facts. A,
no, look, don't go through all that again.
I'm serious. If I raise the bidding, what happens if I get stuck with it?
Fred, look, that's not gonna happen. And in the unlikely event that it does happen, well, maybe we could, play house together.
Sorry. I'm a man of business principle and ethical sense. Besides, what would my wife think?
Well, I finally gave up finding an apartment.
Mother, you know no one is kicking you out.
Oh, I know, but I think things would have gotten a bit touchy between us.
Well, you won't move in with me either, so you're gonna have to make some decision.
Well, if you'll both be quiet, I'll tell you the choice I made.
Okay, let's hear it.
I gave up on looking for apartments, but I started looking for a home to rent. And I found one.
You did? Where?
Not far from here. Very nice. Modest compared to what your father and I had.
When are you moving in?
Sometime next week. I have an agent expediting the details.
Well, I'm glad you found a place, but I am sorry to see you go.
At least you had her as a housemate. She didn't even consider my offer.
Oh, listen to you two. Time was when you lived for the weekends. When your father and I went up north, and you had the house to yourselves.
And I could hardly even read for all the noise from Amber's parties.
For Amber's sake, spare me the details.
Yes, no details. I was just a foolish young child back in those days. And what is so funny?
You put on 4 dresses before picking that one. You've been primping in a mirror for half an hour for your date with Gil, and now you talk about how foolish you used to be?
I wasn't primping. I was refining.
Excuse my wording.
No problem. And with you, it would have been a major overhaul. So, I'm meeting Gil there.
Amber, that wasn't necessary.
So sorry. But you started it. See you all later.
Don't let it bother you, Stace.
Oh, I don't. Besides, I'm glad she left. I want to tell you about Dad's grand opening at the clinic.
Oh, well, why don't we talk about it over dinner?
Sure, where do you want to go? Well, there goes dinner.
Oh.
You okay?
Get your hands off of me, you old lech, you liar.
I didn't lie.
Well,
If you asked me if I was married, I would have told you, yes.
You weren't wearing a wedding band.
Neither is Dolores.
Dolores?
We have a very mature relationship. Whenever she goes out of town, anything goes.
Oh, really? So how far out of town is she?
Italy. I talked with her today.
Did you tell her about us?
Well, as a matter of fact,
Oh, look, I don't want to hear the old details, okay? I mean, you're a real sicko.
Nancy, I've never pried into your private life.
Fred, you are my private life.
Now, I've heard tales about Charles Carpenter. A friend of mine at Kingsley General mentioned something about an accident that happened on the stairs.
You're losing ground real fast.
I'm not trying to gain any ground. That's the way I am, Nancy. Live and let live. If you're so old-fashioned about married men, fine. Goodbye. You certainly never impressed me as being the provincial type. I'll say all that.
Fred, how long is she gonna be gone?
3 weeks. Look, let me order some appetizers and we'll sit here and talk.
Hello,
What a
Kate.
surprise.
How are you? Listen, I finally got off from underneath Sebastian's scheduling. What do you say? Let's have dinner.
Stacy and I were just discussing where we would go.
I'm sorry. Stacy, I didn't even see you.
Well, you won't be seeing me much longer.
Oh, don't go, Stacy.
Listen, I have a story due tomorrow, and I really wouldn't be able to enjoy dinner knowing I have to knock that thing out.
Oh, what's the story on?
The city's testing a new theft-proof bike rack in Chambers Park.
Oh, really?
Be honest, Stacy. Will the story take you that long?
Oh, it isn't that. It's just that, that I wouldn't be able to relax knowing I've got to, get that done. Lee, it was nice seeing you again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm sorry you can't make it.
See you later, Stacy.
She keeps telling fibs like that, she has the makings of a politician.
She wanted to talk to me about Dave at dinner.
Well, I guess I should be upset about the whole thing, but I'm just too tired for that. At least I wound up with you alone, which hasn't been happening that much lately.
Well, if you mean my living situation, you'll be happy to know that I found a home to rent. I'll be leaving here next week.
Well, Kate, that is good news.
Yes, now you won't have my daughters chaperoning us.
You know, I'm happy for Stacy too. At least now she won't have to pretend she likes me so much.
Oh, she does like you, Lee.
Oh yeah. Maybe she just likes Dave a little more.
Well, she'll learn. She'll have to know how much more I have now.
Hey, you know, you're beginning to sound more and more encouraging every day.
Well, look who's here.
Oh, no.
And you must be Mr. Lawson.
No. I'm Fred Winthrop. Glad to make your acquaintance.
Yeah.
Who is this, Nancy?
This is Gil Prescott and his dial-a-date.
You sure you're not her father? Maybe uncle. Or maybe
come on,
you two
Gil.
have...
I'll tell Vicky you said hello. Come on, Fred, let's go look at Dolores's postcards.
Who was she?
Nobody.
And who's Vicky?
Another nobody. No, they worked together at OPD office downtown.
So you see them on business?
Yeah, about once a week. You know, I'm flattered by your jealousy, Amber. But don't waste it on Vicky and Nancy.
I'm not jealous. But I am glad she left.